Hey everybody, we are all back for the second half of Module 9, 19th Century Europe, Part 1 and 2, and we are in 19th Century Europe, Part 2, 9. Why do I keep saying 19? 9.04, which is all about Impressionism. So we are looking at 8 core works and 6 supplemental works. For our date range, we're in the 1860 era to 1900, and the location for this one. So the Impressionist movement began with a group of artists that called themselves the Anonymous Society of Painters, Sculptors, and Printmakers, etc. And they displayed their work in Paris. So a lot of Impressionism is originating from France. And we have a lot of fabulous paintings to take a look at. We've got Monet's Impression Sunrise, Morisot's The Cradle. We have a Degas, The Dance Class, Renoir, Moulin de la Galette. We have Monet's The Gare Saint Lazare, Caillebots, Paris Street, Rainy Day, Cassat's In the Lodge, and Oyeri Castero's The Wake. And for our supplemental works, we have Morisot's A Summer Day in Paris. We have Degas' At the Races in the Countryside, Renoir's The Large Bathers, Cassat's The Child's Bath, Renoir's Luncheon of the Boating Party, and Monet's The Argentile Bridge. So one quick thing too before I explain Impressionism. Renoir's Luncheon of the Boating Party, that is a full-scale 3D sculptural piece version that is done at Grounds for Sculpture in South Jersey, kind of close to Ewing, Princeton, Trenton, that area. I only know because I went to TCNJ, or the College of New Jersey, and I did get to go and see it. It is really cool because you can actually like walk through the figures. I love sculptural renditions of things. It's awesome. And if anybody lives even close to Grounds for Sculpture, freaking go. It's awesome. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about Impressionism. It is beginning in the late 19th century and really, really focusing on light, color, moments. Most important thing. Impressionist artists are really emphasizing the capturing of the changing qualities of light and color and shadow within their paintings, and they often work outdoors to observe natural lighting effects. This is called en plein air. That's a very important vocab word that you're going to learn as you learn about these pieces. Artists are using short and very visible brushstrokes, so we are seeing the mark of the artist, one of my favorite things, and this is creating the impression of the subject rather than precise detailed images. So we're getting the fleeting movement of the person, not the every single solitary hair, detail, eyebrow, freckle, etc. We are just showing the actual kind of impression of that person, hence Impressionism. And so this technique is really giving the works that you're looking at a very vibrant and almost like unfinished kind of look, but that is intentional. It's not left by accident. And so Impressionists are really depicting scenes of urban life, leisure activities, and landscapes, definitely in the process, but while also reflecting on the modernization of cities like Paris. Of course, this is where we're centrally located here. So the movement aimed to capture transient, everyday moments and focused on the experience and feeling of a scene rather than that highly detailed representation. And so as we've learned previously, the Japanese ukiyo-e prints with their flat compositions and asymmetry and their bold use of color is very heavily influencing the Impressionist aesthetics, as we saw in the previous couple units that we had. And so Impressionism is really breaking away from the conventions of the French Academy and realism, right? Pendulum swinging that opposite way again. We had depicting everyday life exactly how it is to just the impression of life and leaving out all of those details. And so the Impressionists are really favoring innovation as well as individual expression. So this rejection actually led to a lot of independent exhibitions, most famously the Salon de Refusé in 1863. And artists are also experimenting with color theory as they're juxtaposing these complementary colors to make their hues stand out and be even more vibrant rather than the blending of all these colors to create smooth transitions. So we do have more harsh line work, but with intention here, not avoiding the blending process for any reason other than we are embracing this new style and this new technique. And so Impressionism was initially controversial, but eventually, it did become one of the very influential art movements, and it laid the groundwork for post-impressionism as well as modern art. And its emphasis on personal expression and capturing a moment's essence is really resonating with and influencing a lot of future artistic explorations, which I find very magical. So in our pieces that we're looking at, I would definitely say Monet is the most famous Impressionist artist, and I have always gotten that beautiful sense of peace and relaxation from any of his depictions of flowers. So you'll see a piece here where we have the Impressionism sunrise, one of the very first works of Impressionism art, and the St. Lazare station capturing the energy of daily life and the movement of the train and the smoke and the environment and the craziness of a train station. Then, of course, you'll take a look at some Mary Cassatt as well as some Renoir. And these are all really awesome pieces that will help you really understand and see what Impressionism is all about. So I will check back in with you when we move on to Module 10. We are now in Post-Impressionism, as well as Expressionism and Fauvism. We are very, very in deep to the era I like to call the isms. So until then, folks, it's been a pleasure. Toodles!